We help create rock and roll, and there's nothing better than that, really. I'm Ben Crowe, Master Luthier at Crimson Guitars. We have a bunch of guitar builders and apprentices coming through the ranks, and basically we make guitars for people around the world. And it's based in a former cowshed in the wilds of Dorset. We had 3 or 4 staff. Just over 3 years ago, I was in a shed at the end of my garden working on my own, barely scratching a living. I'm now barely scratching a living, but I've got a really big shed. And we're helping support. We've got 16 or 17 staff now, and it's across both the guitar building and tool making. A lot of what I do now is teaching and training and helping other people through the wonders of YouTube learn how to build guitars, how to set them up, and the like. And it's both entertaining for our fans, and they then want to support us by coming and buying guitars or Luthier's tools. It's 2 or 3 separate businesses, all feeding off our social media, really. And the fact that we teach. We're not too worried about some guy watching our videos and learning how to build guitars and then coming and becoming competition. We want them to get as good as they can and come and ask us for a job. It's a niche. Guitar building is a niche. Instrument making is a slightly bigger niche. But a lot of the tools are absolutely specialist. You don't need a file glued to a bit of wood as a handle in any other world, really. But for leveling the frets on a guitar, you have to have something that's perfectly straight and square and flat. And so that was the first tool. 3 years ago, I made one for myself, made one for an apprentice, and we're now doing hundreds of them a month. So we're probably about halfway there to the range of tools that we want to create. And I built a guitar the other day for the YouTube channel. I decided that it was intelligent and that I could do a guitar in 12 hours. Bad idea. But in the middle of that, I was trying to do fretwork quicker than I normally would. And I had a brainwave for a new tool that if I do this and put this that way, maybe I can do it much quicker. So it's very much informed by actually creating instruments. It's not an academic thing. It's solving the problems that we come up with. And because we've got the number of luthiers and apprentices we have working on guitars every day, we're always, oh, how about this tool? And yeah, so that's how it goes. When we last spoke, I swore blind. I probably actually swore CNCs are just not ever going to be on the horizon. We're not interested whatsoever. And I was making one guitar at a time. And so were the luthiers and the apprentices. And at that rate, you maybe, as a small team, could turn out 1 or 2 guitars each a month. And the demand has grown. And we're starting to try and actually become a little bit more grown up in the way we're working. But it does mean we've got replicability. And we worked out today that it would take our CNCs, because we haven't spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on them, 2 or 3 hours to carve a neck. Personally, I can carve a neck in about 45 minutes or so. But I can't carve that same neck 5 times in a day to the same level of quality without becoming rather depressed with my life, shall we say. So the production guitars are now being fed by those machines. There's still an insane amount of handwork involved. You cannot build a guitar without a dedicated and very skilled team of people. And in the end, the heart of the business is always going to be the young apprentices coming up and the master luthiers helping them learn. The trick in any business, and especially a creative business, is to find people who are better than you and say, you take that part of my job away, please, and just do it, and just let them get on with it. So we now have administrators who know the guitar building business and will just say, oh, you know, if you need this, we go and talk to so-and-so. And they just get on with it. I've built more guitars in the last 6 months personally than in the last 3 or 4 years, because I was, when we first met, I was building a business. We've kind of built a business now, and it's a case of, you know, trying to keep it running through having excellent staff. And it's amazing. So my prime job now is I spend about a day a week R&D of tools, or thinking about tools. I never really stop thinking about tools. You can't beat fine tools. It's just amazing. And I film, we put out somewhere between 8 and 12 videos a week at the moment. Now some of those are, people will follow me around with a camera for an entire 12-hour day or something, and that will give us 24 or 30 videos, and that'll be drip fed out over several months. But I also answer fans' questions and queries regularly, so I'll sit down and film a one-to-one video for 5 or 10 minutes. And it's a quick edit, answering a question, serving a need, and it's easily done. But I spend probably 8 or 12 hours a week just on camera. But the rest of the time, I'm answering questions, helping you know, make the decisions about the company. But in the end, I'm now building more guitars. I'm spending more time making sawdust than ever before, really. It's excellent.